Hello, it's Jeanette with Geo-Mazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back with another video tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how I put together these cute little Andes Candies rocking baby cradle, sweet baby cradle. Look how cute they are, and they have Andes candies inside. These are my Andes candies that I'm going to use to show you, and I have these in some really pretty colors here. And the designer series paper that I used is from the Playing with Patterns DSP. That comes with the Playing with Patterns suite, and there's some really fun colors in here. And these are going to be retiring on May 3rd. You won't be able to order these anymore after May 3rd, or maybe even before, because I think it might be while supplies last. But I thought I would use these on some baby shower party favors that I'm making. And Andes candies are inside, and I'm going to show you with retiring products from Stampin' Up. Most of the products that I'm showing you today are going to be retired by May 3rd. So let's just show you how I did that. Yeah, and it really does rock. Look how cute that is. Okay, there's the back side of it. There's the front side with the sweet baby stamp on there too. Okay, I'm going to put these aside for right now. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my paper so that I could wrap the Andes candies. So I'm going to be using this paper here. It's got that on the outside, but it's got these really cute little purple polka dots on it. And I'm going to bring out my paper trimmer, my Stampin' Up trimmer, or Stampin' trimmer. And I'm going to be cutting this paper at 1 3/8 of an inch. Okay, and then I'm also going to be cutting it at 2 3/4 of an inch. And now with this piece, the leftover piece, I'm going to be cutting out the part that makes it rock. Okay, so let's take this, and we're going to show you how I wrapped the paper. I mean the Andes candies here. Okay. So I like to put a couple of glue dots. I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and pick out a couple of glue dots on one of these, because it'll just help them stay together while I'm wrapping them and while they're sitting in there. Okay, and I'm just going to stack them one right on top of the other. Just make sure that it's even. Okay, and then let me bring up my silicone craft sheet. Anytime I work with adhesives, I like to work on my craft sheet here. So we are going to put our tape on the opposite side, and just on one side. That's all you need to do, just on one side. I'm going to bring in my little wooden block to help me tear that tearing tape. All right, and now I am going to peel off the backer paper of the tearing tape, and on the side that doesn't have the tearing tape, I'm going to match it up with that little flap right there. You can see that little flap right there. I'm going to be matching that up with the paper, with the designer series paper, and just as tightly as I can wrap it around and meet up with the designer series paper there. And there you go. And now I'm going to put a little bow on this, and for that I'm going to be using the Purple Posy Playing with Patterns. This comes as a combo kit when you buy the suite, or you can just buy the combo kit. But I'm going to be using some of this Purple Posy. Now, it doesn't come with the boxes. I just put them in boxes to help me. See, if I roll it like this, then I can just roll it back up. Okay, and yes, I do have a video showing how I make the boxes in, like, I think there's 3 different sizes that I list in that description of the video, and I will link that video. So I'm just going to pull out some here. And I'm just going to make a knot. I don't think I'm going to make a bow on here, although I could, but I just want to make a little knot. Like that, and we're going to make it like that. Okay. And that's just so you can pick it up and put it down in the cradle. I'm going to use my ribbon scissors. They're paper snips, but I just only use these for ribbon. And I'm going to put a little slant on this. My ribbon scissors are getting a little dull. Time for a new pair. Time to use these with paper. Okay, let me trim that just a little bit more. Okay, and I'll trim this neater. And there we have it. Now we're going to put this aside and work on our box. Now the pattern that I want to use from that pattern paper is this one here. This is like the rainbows. It's so pretty. So I thought, well, yeah, let's use this. But I'm going to use this on the to accent it. See, the two purples look kind of cute together. So what I'm going to use to make my cradle, we're going to work on the cradle part first, is I'm going to be using the retiring square or layering squares, and I'm going to pick the third to the largest. So this is the largest, the next to the largest, and this one. And this is the scallop square. Okay, it's not the plain square, it's the scallop square. And so I'm going to just take this to my Big Shot, or actually to my other die cut, my new die cutting machine. I'm going to be taking it to the die cutting machine, and I will be right back. Okay, this is what I have here. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is take, I'm going to be die cutting this little rocking mechanism here. It's actually just an oval, and now you could use your oval dies, your layering oval dies, but they're a little bit too wide for this. So I found an oval, a really cute oval, in the retiring mini curvy keepsake box dies, and I'm going to be using this oval. And yes, I know there's a little hole in there, but that's okay because I covered it with a little gem right here, and that's what I'm going to do. But I want to use this paper here, and I'm also going to be making it a little bit stiff, or just for some strength. I'm going to be using some purple posy cardstock. So I will be cutting out 2 of these and 2 of the ovals on the purple cardstock. Okay, and I will be right back. So I have 2 in the purple posy, and I have 2 in the printed pattern here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp before I put them together, and I am going to put them together so that you can't really tell that there's a little hole there, but I will still be covering it up. So let me stamp on here, and what I'm going to stamp is Sweet Baby. Now this Sweet Baby is actually a longer sentiment. I just actually cut the sentiment in half, and to kind of stack it, because I want them stacked. And that sentiment comes from the Itty Bitty Greetings set, a stamp set, and this is a what do you call it? A clear mount or a cling mount. So anyway, you get a lot of sentiments in here, and this is also going to be retiring, so you want to get your hands on that because these are so useful. I've used this so many times. So I've got this Sweet Baby on here. I'm going to be using some Stays On ink, and by the way, I did cut that. Here's what it looked like on the stamp set here. See, Sweet Baby. I cut it in half so I could stack it. But if you do that, you kind of make your warranty or guarantee with Stampin' Up! Null and void, just so you know. But that's okay. I'm never going to get rid of this stamp set. Maybe in 100 years I might. I don't know. But I'm stamping Sweet Baby on these. Okay, there's one. And actually, I'm only going to stamp the one side, because the back side I'm just going to leave plain. So let's put that aside there. And on here, well, I'm gonna do some score lines on here. But let me put the what am I going to do? I am going to be putting these together with some adhesive, and I want to use some liquid adhesive, just a little bit, just to, oh, I do need my silicone craft sheet here. Okay, I'm putting a little bit of liquid adhesive on here so that I can match this up, but I'm matching it up on the other side so that you see that little purple hole. Actually, I got kind of glue in that hole, but right there, kind of covering up that hole on both sides. See? But this is the side you won't see because that's going to be the inside. And this is the side you will see. So let me do the other one. And I'm going to put these aside. And then we're going to work on doing our score lines for this scallop square. So let's bring out our Simply Scored scoring tool. And I am going to show you how we are going to be scoring this. Okay, I am going to score this only on 3 sides. Make sure that's in there. At 3/4 of an inch. Just 3 sides. 1, 2, and 3. Now on the side that doesn't have the score line, what I want to do is I want to take, let's take a piece of that. Okay, this is some cardstock here. I just need a little buffer here, just right on the edge here, because I need just a little, it to move over just a tiny little bit. And what I'm going to do is score this at the 2 3/8 line. Okay, let me make sure I got that right. 2 3/8. Okay, and it basically, it's just going to look like I'm scoring just below the scallops on this side here. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see it better on the back. Yeah. Okay, I'm just scoring just really, really close to the scallops. And yeah, there's a reason why I'm doing that. So I will show you that right now. So we're going to just go ahead and fold and burnish all of our score lines. Even that narrow one, you want to make sure you burnish that one too. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and do some trimming on this. I'm not sure if you can see this in the front or the back, but I think I'm going to go, I don't want to use those scissors. I think I'm going to go on the back side of this. And what I want to do is just trim off the score line up to this horizontal score line here. I'm going to trim that right there and just trim it off. Trimming off the whole score line. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on this side here. Okay, and then I am going to take 2 of these little scallops here and lop off. It's kind of the halfway mark. You could just lop off half of it, but I use these little scallops on the edges to be my guide, and I'm just going to lop those off. Okay, and now here I'm not going to lop anything or cut anything just yet. I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet again, and we're going to be applying some tear and tape. Let's get this tear and tape out, and we are going to be putting some tear and tape on the tabs right here. On one side and on the other side, just like that. And then we're going to put a long strip of tear and tape just along that score line, or just right above that score line right here. And I know that it's a little bit too thick. Let me cut this off here. It's a little bit too wide for that little strip, but I'm going to be folding it over on itself. And I'm not going to cut, yeah, let me cut it right now. Oh no, I'm not going to cut it until I take this off here. But I will trim this right here. Okay. Now I'm going to take the tear and tape off of here, and I'm going to fold it on itself like that. I just want it kind of even with that edge, and then I'm going to go ahead and just trim up to that score line on both sides. You can wedge if you want to, but I don't really need to wedge. And then I'm going to fold this and like this, and I'm making sure that these outer flaps fold over this flap, I mean right here, okay, this middle part. These little flaps are going to fold over the middle flap like that, okay, and that's what you're going to have. It's going to be just enough adhesive that you need. Now let's use the take your pick tool, and we're going to take the backer paper off of this tear and tape that you put on these tabs. I just kind of opened up the tab over there, but we'll fix it. Okay, there we go, like that and like that. Okay, this is going to be the foot of the cradle, and this is going to attach, we're going to attach a headboard to this. So how do we make our headboard? This is how we're going to do it. Now I want this pattern to show on the back and the front of the headboard. And the headboard is made with a punch that will be retiring. It's called the Timeless Label Punch. So I'm just going to punch out 2. Now the reason I'm doing 2 is because I want the same pattern inside and outside, and to give it just a little bit more strength. Okay. So that is the Timeless Label Punch, and I will be listing everything in the description so that you can see, you know, all the tools and supplies that are going to be retiring that I'm using today. All right, let's adhere these two together like that, okay? And let me see, what am I using? I think I'm just going to use some seal. Let me make sure. I always like to go on my my silicone craft sheet to kind of make sure that I've got it started, because a lot of times it kind of rolls back on itself. So I'm just going to put some tear and tape on one of them. Not tear and tape, this is seal. I'm putting seal on it, and then I'm going to match this and make sure that everything is matching on both sides. And let me bring back out my my Simply Score, because I am going to need to put a score line on here. I'm going to line this up on the top here, and we're going to put a score line at the 1 and 5/8. So this is 1 and 5/8 is right here. It's the one that's the 1/8 inch mark that's just past the 1/2 inch mark. Okay. Now, if you don't want your headboard so high, you can do a little bit of a less of a, you know, of spacing there. Like you could do a 1 1/2 if you want to. But I kind of like that higher headboard. It kind of makes, I don't know, I just like it better. Now I'm going to fold this. I'm going to be putting some tear and tape on this little flap right here, because that's what's going to go underneath your cradle. So where's my block? Where's my block? There it is, right here. Always losing that thing. And it kind of blends in with the surface of my desk. So let me take this off here. It's time to adhere our headboard. And here we are here. And what I'm going to do is, what I need to do is just make sure that the spacing is right, because it is going to go right here, and there's going to be a little bit sticking out, okay? there's just going to be a little bit sticking out of the edge, because this label is a little bit wider than this here, and I'm okay with that. So I just want to make sure that I've got this right on that score line with even spacing. Now you can do this with you really can't do this with liquid glue, because you don't have much to adhere to on the sides here. Okay, come on. All right, I think I've got it, and we're gonna fold this up like that. See, I tried to get even spacing here. All right, now what I don't like is that this little flap right here, that's right here on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is just snip that off. So with my paper snips, I'm just going in and snipping it off. Okay, on the one side, try to do a neat job if you can. It's nice if you have a pair of paper snips that are really sharp at the tip. Okay. Snip that off. Okay, and there is our body of the cradle. And now on the back of these little rocking mechanisms, ovals here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my ruler, and I'm going to try to just mark a straight line right down the middle with my pencil. Okay, you're not going to see this. We're going to be hiding. It's going to be hidden behind here. Okay, so in other words, I'm putting it right here, but when I glue that together, I'm going to go just up to that, that line a little bit, so that I don't see the line. And I'm going to try, and that's to help me do even spacing on both sides so that it doesn't look too lopsided. Okay, so I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to kind of put my ruler right there, kind of marking the halfway, and just kind of draw a little line right there. And I think that's close enough. So let's put our little cradle together, and I will be using liquid glue for that. So right here, I'm going to put some glue on the top part here. Oop. And I'm going to space that left and right as perfect as I can and as even as I can, and just kind of hold it there. I like to make sure that it's straight right here too. Okay, and even. So that liquid glue gives you a little bit of time to make sure that you're straight and even, and you've got even spacing on both sides, like right here and right here. And there it is. Okay, now we'll do the other one. Gotta just make sure you're putting the adhesive on the right side. So we're putting the adhesive right here. That it's rocking nicely. Yes, it is. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness. Now let's put our little gems on here. From that Pattern Play Suite. You can buy these separately too, but in that Pattern Play Suite, you get these really pretty gems that go with, or they're resin dots rather, that go with all of the Designer Series paper. And I think I'm going to take a little, let's see, I'm going to take the medium size one and put it right here. And I'm going to take a large one and I'm going to put it right here. Okay. And now what I could have done, what I should have done, is stamp this, because that has a really, really cute stamp here. I was going to stamp the little hearts right here. See, from this Pattern Play photopolymer stamp set that also comes with the kit. You can actually buy this with the dies. Now the dies are the alphabet. okay? Just kind of cute, see? And I was thinking, okay, I could put the baby's initials right here. Just like, you know, my granddaughter is going to be, my great-granddaughter is going to be Olivia. So I could have put the O right there for Olivia instead of putting that little dot there. But look at all, you get the whole alphabet, and you get a couple of double letters. I think like the vowels give you two or more. But this is so cool. I really love this die set because, you know, you can do a lot with it and make stickers out of those letters. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything else to it. You can decorate it any way you want to. I'm going to go ahead and maybe put a couple of glue dots, or just one glue dot. We'll just do one glue dot on here, okay? And I'm going to try to de-stickify it, if that's a word. And so I don't want it to be too sticky, but I want it to stay in there, just right in the center. I move it over, just, you know, because I don't want it sliding around, and I want it to stay in there for transporting. See, now it's not going to fall out, but if with a little bit of strength you can pull that out and it won't harm it. So here are my little baby rocking cradles with the my Andes Candies cradles. Andes Candies Sweet Baby cradles. That's what I'll call them. I don't know. But anyway, this one here, I just wanted to let you know that so I used the other ribbon that comes in that combo pack. This is the Night of Navy ribbon. That's an 1/8 inch wide, but I use it for the middle one here. So anyway, I am all done. I hope that I have taught you something. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will try this. These make some really, really cute baby shower party favors. Little rocking chairs. Now, I do have a couple of other videos where I show a little rocking baby cradle with some older Stampin' Up supplies, but I will go ahead and put the links in the description of this video. So if you need any of the tools and supplies that I used in this video, they'll be listed in the description. And if you'll go to my website at www.Geo-Mazing Papercrafts, you can order there. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. So once again, I'm Jeanette with Geo-Mazing Papercrafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.